I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of September 21st, 2011. The DC New 52 rolls on with week number 4, and Josh and I are tired. Too many comics to read.
So many books.
I've heard from other retailers and podcasters, this is starting to feel like work, having to read comics. But anyway, we're doing it for you. Remember that. Kick things off with my most anticipated New 52 book, Batman #1 by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Snyder, of course, writer of American Vampire, Severed, somewhat of a writer, plotter on Gates of Gotham, Detective Comics. His run in Detective is really what had me excited about this, and I think most Bat fans will agree that it's one of the best Batman runs in recent memory. Capullo was, it's kind of Todd McFarlane's understudy. He penciled Spawn, he's penciled Haunt. He's been at Image/Top Cow for years and years and years. This is, might be his first DC book, his first DC work. And it's a winning combination. Snyder and Capullo on this book are outstanding. There is nothing not to like about Batman #1. I think this might be the breakout bestseller behind Justice League. We've sold a ton of Justice League, but this could definitely be #2. I highly recommend that everyone check this out. It's a great entry point for people who aren't very familiar with Batman. It's a great continuation for people that are familiar with Batman. Excellent art, excellent story, and a cliffhanger ending that has you wanting more.
Out this week, continuing Marvel's .1 initiative, we have Thunderbolts 163.1. The previous issue sees part of the Thunderbolts team trapped back in the past with Captain America and Namor during World War II. This one is really a very true .1 issue. It tells you pretty much the entire history of the Thunderbolts, mostly through the eyes of Screaming Mimi, or Songbird, as she is called. And it's really good. I was only sort of tangentially familiar with a lot of that material, and I did a great job characterizing it and still giving us a new story with Luke Cage and Ghost that was very cool.
Nightwing #1 by Kyle Higgins and Eddie Barrows. Higgins was the writer on Gates of Gotham, and that's what really had me looking forward to this, and I was not disappointed. Strong story, strong artwork, deals with Dick's past as an acrobat with Haley's Circus. The violence is kind of taken up a notch. I had to check the ratings on a couple of these as I was reading them going, teen? Really? Really, DC? There's a T+ rating. You could use it. So, word to the wise, a lot of the new DC books you really want to flip through if you're giving them to a younger reader. But some are definitely appropriate. This one, borderline. But anyway, really good story, excellent artwork, and again, an ending that has me wanting more.
Also in the New 52, we have Birds of Prey, written by Duane Swierczynski. And here we get to see Babs, and I don't want to spoil anything, but one of the people on this cover is not in the book. I'll let you find out which one. But we see the Birds of Prey similar to their traditional structure. They're a covert ops team. The lineup has changed significantly, and they do a great job of introducing them and making me want to find out where they go. They start up a good kind of mystery for the next issue.
Wonder Woman #1 by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang. Azzarello, known for 100 Bullets and really kind of hard-boiled crime stuff, brings his talents to this and makes this kind of a horror Greek mythology adventure story. Cliff Chiang's artwork, I know a lot of people were a little concerned after seeing the cover image. It is a lot softer on the inside. The cover is kind of hard lines and hard edges, but Chiang definitely delivers. I've been a big fan of his work. He did one of the great Brave and the Bold stories that Straczynski wrote. Actually, I think he did the Zatanna Batgirl Wonder Woman story. So this was a pleasant surprise. It's different. If you're a traditional Wonder Woman reader, you might be a little surprised by what you see in here. But just keep in mind that I threw the word horror out there. There's definitely some horror aspects to it, but keeping with the history of Wonder Woman. And again, looking forward to the next issue.
Catwoman #1, written by Judd Winnick. Selina's seen some mild revamping. In this universe, she doesn't appear to know who Bruce is or know Batman's true identity. But otherwise, it's very much just a fun kind of girl-on-the-go, kind of adrenaline junkie book. And I enjoyed the heck out of it.
T+ for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
DC Universe Presents Deadman #1, written by Paul Jenkins, art by Bernard Chang. I loved this book. It's great to see Jenkins back writing kind of traditional superhero-y type stuff. He's been over at Marvel for a long time, and have him jump over to DC I read this as a pilot for a TV show, and I know that there's a Deadman show in development at the CW, but this absolutely reads like the pilot of a television series to me. You know, people that enjoy Deadman and Brightest Day, you know, it's a character, he's a C-level character in the DC universe, and not a lot of people are familiar with him, or they're tangentially familiar with him, but this was an excellent first issue, and my understanding with DC Universe Presents is it's going to be an anthology series, so we're going to have Deadman for a certain number of issues, and then we're going to switch over to a different character. But really enjoyed it, strong artwork, strong writing, you should pick it up.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, written by Scott Lobel. We've got Starfire, Roy Harper, and Jason Todd on an adventure together. Some of the characters have seen some fairly significant revamping, but it's a great team. It's a fun kind of heist. You know, none of these are superhero-y characters. A lot of them have fluctuated over the years, but they're not, you know, your hard-boiled, stiff-line Superman-style Boy Scout heroes. You know, they're a little more morally ambiguous, and it's just a lot of fun to see them interacting.
Star Trek: The Ongoing, #1 from IDW Publishing. This is retelling the original series adventures with the movie series crew. And I honestly was very excited about it, and I was not disappointed. The strongest part of this book to me was the artwork. It was very strong for the most part, a couple inconsistencies, but it's tough to do a licensed property and get the actors' likenesses correct. And I found more often than not the artist on this book nailed it. And as someone who's seen Where No Man Has Gone Before, which is the old episode that gets covered in this first issue dozens of times, yeah, I kind of know where the story's going, but they are throwing in some new bits here and there, and it's interesting to see it from, you know, through the movie crew's eyes. So again, if you're a Star Trek fan, you should definitely pick this up. We're not going to see a new Star Trek movie in this universe for about 2 years, so this is going to have to satisfy.
Next up, the long-awaited Teen Titans games?
Yes.
It's just called games?
New Teen Titans.
I swear there's another game. You've got Marv Wolfman and George Perez finally releasing a Titans original graphic novel that's 2 decades in the making. This is kind of a no-brainer. If you're a fan of the new Teen Titans, you love the old Wolfman and Perez stuff, it's a great read. It goes back to the more traditional view, and it's
oversized.
It's big.
No-brainer. No-brainer. Ultimate Comics X-Men #1, written by Nick Spencer, and art by Paco Medina. Spencer, of course, most known for Morningglories, and here he gets to write a new group of teenagers. I hadn't read Ultimate Comics X-Men in a while. I'm familiar, I guess, with what happened in the Ultimate Universe, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. Spencer's writing is excellent in this. Some of the stuff he's been doing at Marvel has been hit or miss, but this was definitely a hit. And I like seeing, I'm a huge fan of the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, and it's nice to see Kitty and Bobby and Johnny Storm show up in a new area, new book, so that they didn't just disappear at the end of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. So again, looking forward to see where this goes. So far, Marvel's their relaunch of the Ultimate Universe has been more hit than miss, so you should definitely check it out.
Morningglories, Volume 2. This is issues 7 through 12 of the Morningglories series, and still only $12.99. What a deal! 6 issues, and it continues the book by Nick Spencer we were just talking about with Ultimate X. The first volume was very popular, and the second one is now available for you to purchase.
So you can get Volume 1 and Volume 2 for right around $21, $22. Yeah. That's a steal.
Nuts.
X-Men Schism, issue #4 of 5, written by Jason Aaron, art by Alan Davis, Josh's favorite missing in action artist, Alan Davis. And this is where the stuff hits the fan. The schism comes into full effect in this one, while Wolverine and Cyclops come to blows, while Utopia hangs in the balance. And we really see there's a wedge between the two, and apparently it will never be the same. Schism has been a really strong series from the get-go. We still have all 4 issues in stock, so it's not too late to get on board with this big X event, which is going to set up the future of the X books. Really strong week for comics. We just touched the tip of the iceberg as far as stuff that came out. So I also want to mention that at this present moment, we have nearly all of the new 52 issue #1s in stock that have already been released, except one. And I won't tell you what that is. You'll have to come in and find out. Thanks for watching.